Let's talk Tanya for the 27th of Cheshvan of a leap year. In yesterday's Tanya, we did the first chapter of Kunter Sachran. Today we're going to move on to the second chapter of Kunter Sachran. And it's a continuation of the same topic. We're talking about the importance of action and explaining the words of the Zohar that Hirhur le'ovid midi, which means that our thoughts don't accomplish anything. So yesterday we explained that our thoughts don't accomplish anything because bringing down the flow of energy from the higher worlds all the way down here into this world, that happens only through action mitzvos. And today we're going to dive into that a little deeper and figure out why is it that the flow of energy comes only through action mitzvos. So to understand this, we need to go back actually to the story of the creation of Adam and Chava. We know that when Adam was originally created, so he was created together with Chava, and they were connected to each other back to back. So they were united, they were one, but they were united by ways of their back, which is called a yichud acher ba'acher, which means a union backside to the backside. And then we know that Adam HaRishon is put to sleep, and Chava is separated from him, and they reunite. But this time, when they reunite, it's called a yichud panim bepanim. Now they are face to face, and it is only through a yichud panim bepanim, through a face to face union, that we have children, we have progeny. Now, everything that happens over here in this physical world generally, and certainly something which is spoken about in the Torah, has deep mystical meanings. And the same thing over here, the mystics speak about this and they explain what is the backstory over here. So Kabbalah is very big in talking about yichudim. Yichudim means unions, because in order to bring down any flow of energy from the higher worlds, we need to have a union between two elements, the male and the female element within any given world or level. When they come together, that creates a new flow of energy, which then descends to the worlds beneath them. Originally, when God created the world, and when God created the world of Atzilus with the male and the female elements within the godly world of Atzilus, the unity or the union between the male and female aspects of the world of Atzilus was acher ba'acher. It was back to back, which did not allow for that kind of union, which can actually create progeny, which can have light, which comes down here into this world. And the Rizal tells us that once Adam HaRishon is created, and Adam starts doing mitzvahs, action mitzvahs, he starts doing good deeds, now he's able to cause the unity in the higher worlds of the yichud panim bepanim, the face-to-face unity, which results in the divine energy flowing all the way down and reaching this world. And the obvious question is, why? What is the connection specifically between action mitzvahs and creating that yichud panim bepanim, that face-to-face unity, which allows for the flow of energy to come all the way down here? So the Rebbe explains there are two reasons why it's necessary to have action mitzvahs in order to create the yichud panim bepanim, this unity which then causes this flow of energy. Number one, when we do action mitzvahs, that means by definition we're taking an object over here in this physical world and we're doing a mitzvah with it. And by the way, even if the action is only within the person's body, for example, the person davens or studies Torah but is moving their lips and enunciating the words, that also you're taking an element from this physical world, being your body, and you're elevating the sparks within it to holiness. Now, the sparks that are within the physical world, their source is in what's called the Olam HaTohu, which literally translates as the world of chaos. We're not going to get into that right now, but there was a very, very high, very lofty, very spiritually elevated world called the world of Tohu, which, for reasons that are beyond the scope of this conversation, this world imploded and showering sparks all over our world, which became covered up in klipa. And every time we do a mitzvah, we're releasing and elevating one of those sparks. But because these sparks are very, very high, so therefore, doing the mitzvah and releasing these sparks has the ability to elicit the light and to cause the yichud, to cause the union and elicit the light from the world of Atzilus. That is one idea. And the other idea that the Alter Rebbe says is that whenever there is a flow of energy from a higher world, there's always the fear of what's called a yenika. Yenika means that the energy can end up in the wrong place. The klipa can get that energy. How do we ensure that the klipa doesn't get that energy? And the answer is through our mitzvahs. And why is that? For the same reason that we mentioned earlier. When we do a mitzvah, we're removing the spiritual spark from the klipa, from its impure, unholy husk in which it existed. But that spark was what provided the life and the energy for that klipa. So when you do a mitzvah, you're actually, in addition to removing the spark, you're killing the klipa. You're killing the klipa, so you're removing the leech, which seeks to gain that nourishment from the divine energy. So now we can have the yichud panim bepanim. Now we can have the union face to face. We can have the energy coming down without fear of it ending up in the wrong place, ending up in the control of the klipas. With this, we've concluded this chapter. In tomorrow's Tanya, we start the next chapter. The topic of the chapter will be the importance of davening and learning Torah Lishma with the proper motivation, with the proper feelings of love and reverence for Hashem.